Erik ten Hag makes demand to Man United stars after capitulation versus Sevilla. We weren't ready. Erik ten Hag has admitted that his Manchester United players weren't ready to compete against Sevilla, and that led to them exiting the Europa League. Man United were in a great position early into their Europa League quarter-final clash with Sevilla, and it could have been game over by the end of the first leg. The English side led 2-0 thanks to a Marcel Sabitzer brace, but own goals from Tyrell Malacia and Harry Maguire leveled the two-legged tie ahead of the return game in Spain. United put in a dismal performance in the second leg as they were easily beaten by Sevilla. Mistakes from Maguire and David De Gea gifted Youssef En-Nesyri 2 goals. His brace came either side of Loic Bates' header just after half-time. The Red Devils did not look like getting themselves back into the game as they suffered an embarrassing quarter-final exit. They now need to regroup ahead of Sunday's FA Cup semi-final at Wembley against Brighton and Hove Albion. Speaking post-match, Ten Hag admitted that United were not good enough against Sevilla on Thursday night. "We have to do better, that's the demand. We were not composed, not calm. We didn't beat the press. When you do, there are so many spaces behind, and it was obvious at the start how to do it," Ten Hag told BT Sport. "We lost the battles. They had more passion, more desire, more willingness. That's difficult to win games. We can't run away from it. On Sunday we have another opportunity and have to step up and show more character and personality. It's not about them, the players that were missing, it's about the players on the pitch. They have to perform, I believe in them and trust them, but they have to show it, and they were not good enough. We have shown on so many occasions good things, but tonight we weren't ready for the game. At this level, playing for Manchester United, you have to be ready for every game. This was a great opportunity, a great occasion, to win something, and we gave it away. We have to blame ourselves. It's gone, we can't change it. We have to look forward to Sunday, that's the next opportunity." Paul Scholes suggests Erik ten Hag is at fault for David De Gea's Man United failure. Paul Scholes believes a lot of the struggles for David De Gea at Manchester United this season stem from the system Erik ten Hag is attempting to bring to his team. Paul Scholes believes David De Gea is unable to play in the system Erik ten Hag wants to instill at Manchester United. Ten Hag's side crashed to a humiliating 3-goal defeat to Sevilla on Thursday night in a result that ended their European campaign. Each of the 3 goals saw the beleaguered De Gea culpable, and most strikingly for the third goal when he air-kicked a clearance to give the hosts an open goal. Youssef En-Nesyri scored either side of Loic Bates' header on an abject evening for United, who could easily have lost the game by more. The result and manner of the performance will lead to plenty of question marks over a number of players' futures, including De Gea. The Spaniard is out of contract at Old Trafford this summer, and despite negotiations over a new deal ongoing, no agreement has yet been struck. United have also been linked with signing a goalkeeper this summer to usurp De Gea. "He was making me nervous the whole night with the game he was having," Scholes said on BT Sport after the match, analyzing De Gea's performance. "I think he was making the whole team nervous. Nobody knew if he was going to control it or try to clear it. I am still not too sure what he was trying to do." Jose Mourinho's prediction comes true as Roma claim thrilling Feyenoord win. Jose Mourinho guided Roma into the semi-finals of the Europa League, with the Serie A giants coming from behind to win a thrilling game in extra time at the Stadio Olimpico. Paulo Dybala has revealed that Jose Mourinho correctly predicted Roma's Europa League quarter-final with Feyenoord would go to extra time. Roma were trailing 1-0 after the first leg, but pulled off a stunning comeback in the second half of Thursday's return fixture. Leonardo Spinazzola pulled them level on aggregate with a goal on the hour mark, but Igor Paiseo scored with 10 minutes to go to put the Dutch side back in front. It appeared that Paiseo's strike would be enough to send Feyenoord into the Final Four, but Dybala popped up in the last minute to finish off a brilliant team move and send the game to extra time. Stefan El Shaarawy and Lorenzo Pellegrini then completed Roma's comeback to send them through to the semi-finals, where they will face Bayer Leverkusen. And Dybala has revealed that Mourinho had already predicted his side would need extra time to win. "I think everyone knows Mourinho, his history, what he's done in Europe and at every club he worked at. I think he won something. His mentality fuels you. He knew the game could end up like this and pushed us to give something more," he told Sky Sport Italia. He changed the tactical system, we started playing better and dominated extra time for a deserved victory. I think we all want to win, which is the most important thing. We have a coach with an incredible mentality. Juventus brutally troll Manchester United on social media after Sevilla knocked them out of the Europa League. Juventus savagely mocked Manchester United on social media after Erik ten Hag's men crashed out of the Europa League at the hands of Sevilla on Thursday evening. Sevilla punched their ticket to the semi-finals with a crushing 3-0 win over United in the second-leg quarter-final clash at the Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan in Spain. United, who bottled a 2-0 lead in the first-leg tie at Old Trafford, were behind 10 minutes into the second-leg match after a howler from Harry Maguire. Loic Bade increased Sevilla's advantage only minutes into the second half after his looping header from an Ivan Rakitic corner beat a helpless David De Gea. De Gea was at fault for Sevilla's third after he charged out of his box and his sloppy clearance allowed Endesiri to slot the ball into the empty United net from 35 yards out. Sevilla's opponent for the Europa League semi-finals will be none other than Juventus, who dumped Sporting CP out of the quarter-finals on Thursday. Juventus wasted no time in hilariously trolling United on TikTok after posting a parody clip from 2010's Four Lions. The clip features the club crests of Juventus, Sevilla and Bayer Leverkusen all Europa League semi-finals celebrating while United watch on as Four Lions character Barry. How this Ramadan's conflicting league rules sparked debates on fasting for Muslim footballers. In March this year, Premier League and English referees were asked to allow Muslim players to break their fast during matches over Ramadan. This year's holy month of Ramadan has been a historical period in the football world as several Muslim players had the opportunity to observe the religious holiday while still battling it out on the pitch. Referees manning Premier League were directed to find a natural pause in play during evening matches to allow any Muslim player or match official to break their fast before continuing the action on the pitch. Notably, this year's Ramadan was observed during the critical end of the football season, when trophies and titles, such as the Champions League championship, are up for grabs. The world's best Muslim players in such competitions, such as Liverpool's Mohamed Salah, Manchester City's Riyad Mahrez, and Chelsea's N'Golo Kante, are among the countless Muslim players assumed to be fasting during the holy month. Since it's a challenge for Muslim players to cope with the demanding schedule of professional football during Ramadan, the change in tune by English football officials has at least brought the custom to light. At the start of Ramadan, Chelsea's Wesley Fofana was permitted to take energy gels at the side of the pitch amid a delayed moment for a penalty. The 22-year-old French footballer praised the allocation, thanking the Premier League for allowing him to break his fast. "That's what makes football wonderful," he said. During Ramadan, an Everton match was stopped in the 26th minute to allow a trio of Abdoulaye Doucouré, Amadou Onana, and Idrissa Gueye to consume fluids and supplements. In an interview with BBC Sport, Doucouré revealed that he is careful not to miss fasting during Ramadan and hasn't faced any problems. "I fast every day. I don't miss any days." Barcelona considers selling Jules Koundé to fund Lionel Messi move. FC Barcelona could sell Jules Koundé to fund a move for Lionel Messi and other players next summer, according to a new report. It might be perhaps surprising to sell him, as he has started many games since being signed from Sevilla FC. But it stands to reason that if the Catalans want to make a good profit, they may need to sell a starter rather than a bench player. Ferran Torres and Ansu Fati are said to be on the transfer list already, but Barcelona could even sell Rafinha, who is a starter, to get some much-needed cash. Koundé is a young talented player and Barcelona would want to at least recoup the investment they made when they signed him. On the other hand, Andreas Christensen, who came for free, has done very well. For that reason, the Frenchman has played a lot of games at right back, rather than his preferred place, in the center of defense. If Barcelona feel they can get by with Ronald Araujo and Christensen as starting center-backs, and maybe another center-back signing or Eric Garcia for depth, then that makes Koundé hypothetically expandable. Speaking of which, Garcia himself is said to be on the transfer list. So, possibly, both could leave. The other two names that are mentioned as possible departures next transfer window are veterans Sergio Busquets and Jordi Alba. However, some say that they might stay due to their long associations with Messi. Mason Mount urged to make good value transfer as Thomas Tuchel seals reunion. Chelsea have endured a disappointing campaign, with the Blues currently in the bottom half of the Premier League table and now out eliminated from the Champions League. Having been knocked out of the Champions League by Real Madrid on Tuesday, Chelsea will now set their sights on planning ahead for next season. The Blues are looking for a new manager after axing Graham Potter earlier this month and seeing interim replacement Frank Lampard fail to win a single game so far. Julian Nagelsmann and Luis Enrique are widely viewed as the favourites to take over. Chelsea are also expected to be active in the transfer market with both incomings and outgoings, having forked out a whopping £20M in the January transfer window and more than £250 million last summer. Here's a roundup of the latest news from Stamford Bridge. Chelsea playmaker Mason Mount is set to be out of contract next summer and has been linked with a move away from Stamford Bridge. And former Liverpool midfielder Danny Murphy believes Mount would be a good value signing for the Reds. "I think they, Liverpool, need 2 or 3 new midfield players," he told TalkSport. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain will go, James Milner will go, maybe Keita will go. Mount would be good value because he's got a year left. You're not going to have to pay silly money for him. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like and share. See you again with more news. Bye for now.